Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy hump day, happy Wednesday. Market just opening. Let's go here, see if we're coming through over on X. If everyone can hear me over there. Do a little test here as people start to show up here for opening bell crypto. See it live, but it looks like it's either delayed or not working great. Let's see. My feed seems to be caught up. Don't know if it's working over on X here. Not seeing let me try it again. Open live video. Yeah, it's showing there, but I can't see the video and I can't hear anything, so don't know if it's going to work or not. I can always upload it later, but interesting. Just for fun, bear with me a minute here. I'll pull up YouTube, see if we're live there. Yeah. Why we're not hearing on X. Not good, because that's where most of our followers are. So let's try it here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be coming through on X. Of course, X has been all kinds of messed up today. Like I said, I can always upload it later, but I mean, people are used to seeing me there. I'm just checking just for fun, since I can't. Normally it's popped right up there fine on X, and like I say, it shows up. There's a ring around my thing. I don't know if I'm having too much delays on my. If so, it might be my computer more so than. Yeah, I see 5 people in there, but on my X anyway, I can't see it or hear it. So a little concerning. Got my fiber optics, got my new modem and everything, so should be able to catch me, but maybe I just need to go suck up and buy a new computer. Yeah, I can see people over on X, but okay, already can see in here, so it must just be me. Well, good. Well, awesome, man. That's good. I don't know why it's not working for me, but I had a little bit of problem today getting on some stuff. So, well, let's get into it then. Glad, Artie, thanks for the heads up. I didn't think you could hear me. It was just my phone, but I've been having problems on X all day today. So, well, listen, the market's open. We'll go take a look at Bitcoin. You can see 71,314. We literally hit 72,000 on some formats. It's interesting because, like I say, the market's pricing in a peace deal, but yet we're getting mixed signals out there, which we'll talk about. But let's jump over to Yahoo here and see what Yahoo Finance, and let's see what's going on, where we actually open. We were looking to open up at about 3/4 to 1 point in the positive is kind of how it was looking. But anyway, yeah, it looks like the NASDAQ opened up 0.94, so almost up 1 point. Once again, I feel like we're pricing in a peace deal, though I'm seeing some mixed signals. But, honestly, there's so much propaganda out there. It's so hard to know what to believe. I kind of look at the market and just see how the market's taking it. Yeah, the market up 0.96 on the Dow, and we'll take a look at the gold. It looks like up 3%. Gold's rebounded a little bit, 45.33. Yeah, and the S&P up 8.6, almost 1 point. We'll look back at the NASDAQ. So, Yeah, I feel like it's, no matter what we're hearing out there, I feel like we're pricing in a yeah, I see almost 1%. So let's go back to Bitcoin. Let me refresh this too, just to, maybe that website isn't working good. Like I say, maybe my yeah, it might be my computer. I restarted my computer. I usually do right before the show, but it looks like there's a little delay on some sites. So let's get the most current here. But Bitcoin, yeah, like I say, hit 72,000 on some platforms. Yeah. Well, now I'm going to start blaming on my computer because I fixed everything else. Well, let's start to look at the news. We'll pop back here, and it could just be the Crypto Bubbles website or it's mine. But look, been hanging out a little bit in spaces with Grant Cardone. He came out. This made national news. He said Bitcoin should be 280,000, and I think whatever you think the price is, I think we can agree that Bitcoin is undervalued. And like I said, I like what Grant's doing. Not really trying to get Bitcoin people to invest in his real estate as much as he's putting together these package deals. Say he raises 300 million to buy a several hundred unit rental property or whatnot. Then he might put 50 million into Bitcoin. So that these real estate investors, who by nature are long-term investors, are now getting some exposure to real estate. And he's really bringing money to Bitcoin that probably wouldn't be there otherwise. So let me look on my phone for the Crypto Bubbles here, see if it's could be the website as well. So yeah, over there we can't see it, but Crypto Bubbles, Bitcoin 71,675, up 1% for the day. Ethereum 2,184, up 0.9%. XRP $1.42.2, up 0.3. So it's not doing quite as good. Solana $93 and 1 penny, up 1.5%. So looking good. Let's just, for fun, just go over and take a look at and see if that's, yeah. Could be computer, could just be their website, because the other websites seem to be working okay. But anyway, either way, we'll come back. I'll update you on my phone if I need to. Here, from what I can see, the TSA being at the airports has helped a lot. Like there's now much better. It's helping clear the lines with it because the TSA, ICE helping TSA because TSA is understaffed. They're not getting paid with the shutdown. And you can see here, I think most people respect law enforcement. Most people like what ICE is doing, irregardless of what you see. Some people obviously I can't stand them and want to have a bunch of illegal people. But this will make, if you're not legal or don't got your papers, you're not going to be wanting to fly because you can get caught right there, right? Otherwise, the lines are way, way, way down. So I think it's a positive. And then either way, Trump being smart about how he played it, if nothing else. This is the biggest news of the day for us here on the crypto side of things. Morgan Stanley plans to become the first major U.S. bank to issue and sponsor a Bitcoin ETF. So different than Wall Street and BlackRock and all these different people who have. Morgan Stanley's actually a bank. So, and people trust their banks. I hate banks personally, but people trust them. That's who they've kept their money with and trusted them with their money and all these years. So them actually having Artie, can you still see me over there next? Mine says now content not available. So I don't know. I never could hear it, but that could definitely just be a problem with me. It's funny, Artie, because the other day your phone was giving you problems. Everyone else could hear, you couldn't. But yeah, I don't know. I've had all kinds of problem on X. I even checked for see if I was most updated, and I am. But anyway, it's weird how X works sometimes. Might have to actually go in later and uninstall the app. Hopefully, it doesn't mess up my Bitcoin morning show. But anyway, definitely. Hopefully, everyone else can hear me, and it's so it's good to get some feedback. But X is Xing, as we like to say, at least for me. I got on the Heinecoin space this morning and couldn't hear him for 35 minutes. I showed up. But anyway, this to me is the biggest news today for us as crypto people. Morgan Stanley, an actual bank, building a Bitcoin ETF. Like I say, for mainstream adoption and normal people. This was interesting. Okay, already can hear me on both places. So thank you, man. I really appreciate that feedback. I'm glad everyone can hear me. I don't need to hear myself. I just kind of use it as a test. But hopefully, as long as everyone else can hear me, I appreciate it. This was interesting. President Trump said Iran gifted the U.S. a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money related to oil and gas. He wouldn't say what it was. So I thought that was pretty funny. What he's talking about, who knows? But so Pakistan said it received President Donald Trump's 15-point peace plan and passed it to Iran per Al Jazeera. So Pakistan, of course, closer to Iran, as is also, I know Egypt and Turkey are both playing a part in this because they have close ties and ideologically and everything are more aligned with Iran. And so they're helping get this hopefully settled. So at least there is some, at least there's some verification stuff's going on. I'll show you later. There's some pushback and there's some, saying other stuff on the other side saying that nothing's happening. That's what we saw yesterday, right? A lot of denials that there was anything, as if Trump had just made it up. But one thing I would say is, Trump, let's look at what the market says, right? Look at what the market says right now. Market's up. To me, that says we're pricing it in. Now, whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But so Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey helping out. Now, here's the other thing. Rejected. Everyone's saying this, the spokesman for the military. Our position has not changed from day one and will not change. We'll never reach an agreement with people like you. Not now, not ever. What you call strategic power has become strategic failure. So, look, they've been hit with 9,000 or 10,000 airstrikes. Every one of those airstrikes is blowing something up. Like I said earlier today, they're not just blowing up tough sheds. So anyway, there also may be miscommunication within the country of who's calling the shots and who's doing. I mean, obviously the military is still out there shooting rockets at Israel and their neighbors. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to say for our purposes, reporting what's going on, we'll report what people are saying and we'll watch the market for what's really going on. A lot of times, you don't want to just follow the news. You can get head faked. Shout out to our guy, Scott Melker, the Wolf of All Streets. I could not be more. Yahoo Finance is an absolute giant. Could not be more excited to work with them. 150 million plus monthly users, $200 million visits, bigger than CNBC by 2x, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you see, I use it for to kind of see what's going on, but they are still pretty relevant and they do still get quite a bit of viewers. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's more important in the financial world because everyone watches CNBC. Everyone watches, maybe they have more casual watchers, but to have Scott doing a show over there is going to help reach a lot of mainstream people, right? Like I said, I wouldn't say as many financially savvy people as a Bloomberg or a CNBC, but a lot of users, and that's good. So I think that's a good positive thing. Shout out to Scott. I've always liked his Always liked his content. I don't listen to it every day, to be honest with you. But I think it's good. I think it's definitely someone you could listen to, wouldn't get led astray. I've always liked his stuff, but he's just not someone I listen to every day. But I do like it, and I would suggest people do. The Irish Criminal Assets Bureau, they cracked a seized wallet with 500 Bitcoin in it. So that was a massive $378 million seizure. If they're smart, they'll hold on to it, like the U.S. is doing. If they're dumb, they'll dump it like Germany did and could have made billions more. But sometimes it's interesting. But you're going to see more and more of this seizure and stuff like that. And, especially as it goes up, you start seeing $1 million, $2 million Bitcoin. Governments all over the world are going to be looking to seize Bitcoin. That's why at that point, you probably want to be doing self-custody. So part of that seized Bitcoin isn't ours. Here's Haley Len. I've been good friends with Haley Lemon for years now here on X. And, we've been talking about this, and she's a lawyer, been in the space a long time, on the legal side and pretty savvy. Also a super nice person. She said the Clarity Act continues to favor banks paying low interest and not crypto stablecoin rewards that would benefit the everyday American. I couldn't agree with her more. I mean, it was kind of confusing, I think purposely so they can both claim a win, both claim a compromise, but it's kind of, near as I can tell, they can pay interest, but not just for holding it. It has to be some other function or whatever. I don't know. To me, it was just purposely confusing, to be honest with you. These politicians are something else. But anyway, I appreciate Haley's interpretation. I think she's right. They're trying to use the laws and stuff to continue to control their monopoly where they're ripping people off. $50 billion a year, and Bank of America makes $50 billion a year on overdraft charges. I mean, come on. Trump said talks are underway to ease Middle East tensions. Now, Egypt, like I already mentioned, Egypt, Pakistan, and Turkey, which probably are closer aligned or closer, more friendly, let's say, with Iran than, say, would a Saudi Arabia or something. There's also the split between what kind of Muslim, Sunni or Shia, right? There's also that split there over in the Middle East, which I think you have to understand. So I don't know. I'm not a Middle East expert, but I just know that Egypt, Pakistan, and maybe they're the same kind of Muslim. Maybe they're the same, Shia or Sunni that Iran is. I don't know. Or maybe they just have closer relations, but nonetheless, they're in there trying to help out. So, this was interesting. Larry Fink said, BlackRock CEO, $150 oil could trigger a global recession. We're going to have years of above 1 to 250 oil if Iran remains a threat, and we'll have global recession. What he's saying, and I think this is true, we can't just have them close down the world's oil, 70% of the world's oil, anytime they get their feathers ruffled, or they want to extract money or whatever it is they want to do, right? So I think, my stream's finally working. I can finally see it over there on X. So welcome everyone. Good to see all the listeners there, and glad you could join me for the opening bell crypto today. But listen, what he says, if you watch this clip, he's basically saying this needs to get resolved. Otherwise, it could drag on for years and whatever. I think Trump's looking for an exit, to be honest with you. He tried to bring in a coalition. Nobody seemed to join him. And he even said a couple times, well, maybe let you guys deal with it. We don't need the oil. You do. Showing how smart it was for Trump to make the U.S. energy independent, and now actually a net exporter of energy. But it's also very bad politically for Trump. It's just lot of people, even people that support Trump, aren't really keen on the war or whatever. Now, listen, we've got our ally Israel over there, who's like obviously sworn enemies to Iran, but we also have our new partners, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, who's investing trillions in America. So we don't know all that's going on. I think that people aren't. I'd like to see it through, to be honest with you, but I don't know that if no one's going to help Trump, I don't know that he's. I don't know if he's not going to exit. It's not good politically for Trump right now, with the midterms coming up and gas price going up, all that kind of stuff. So I think that Trump probably exits, but I don't think the problem goes away. But I think that that's what Larry Fink is saying here. If there's still some tension there, or they still have any power at all, and get oil could stay up in these higher ranges for years, which could tank the whole economy. I don't think the world's ready to let Iran do that. So I'd like to see the U.S. finish the job, but then again, nobody wants to see boots on the ground, and maybe it does become more a coalition of the countries over there and in Europe and stuff like that who actually needs the oil, and the Middle East countries who need to sell it. But anyway, it's a complex problem that's been, my whole lifetime it's been a problem. So we'll see. But I do think we should think about what Larry Fink's saying. The problem needs to be resolved. So we may want to get out of there. And I'm not. I don't think anyone's keen on putting boots on the ground. But long term, it has to be dealt with. Maybe they're significantly. Maybe they can get the right people over there who can be more friendly and work this out. But I do think a peace deal's baked in here, but I don't know that it's the problem's solved. But anyway, that's my take on it. Let me know what you think in the comments or whatever. But that's kind of how I'm taking it. Now I saw all over the timeline Iran for the last hour. So Iran rejects ceasefire, won't negotiate with party that violated covenants, whatever, yada yada yada. Now they can say one thing. All I do is to go look over what the market's saying, because I have so little faith, and there's just so much messaging out there, and even it's hard to trust. But as you see, the NASDAQ is still up. This crypto bubbles is usually not a bad sight. I don't know why I'm having so much problem. Here we go. Yeah, Bitcoin 71,644. If we look at it on the hourly, it's it peaked out right when the market opened, but still hit almost 70. But good. Up 2.1% for the day. Ethereum 2.2, XRP now up 1.2% for the day, and Solana up 3.4% for the day. So bottom line is, if you look at what's happening, we are, no matter all this, they're rejecting it, whatever. At least Wall Street and the world's still believing something's going to resolve. Sometimes just look at the data, ignore everything else. UK Challenger Bank Monument to tokenize up to £250 million in retail deposits on Midnight Network, marking the first time a UK regulated bank has tokenized deposits on a public blockchain while keeping them FSCS protected and interest bearing. I assume FSCS is equivalent to our FDIC. So what we have here is we have tokenization and blockchain being utilized within kind of their current banking infrastructure, still paying interest, still protected, insured by the government or whoever this FSCS is. So you see what's happening, right? It's undeniable. You can deny it or whatever, but this happened. Once again, more stuff. They rejected the ceasefire. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how good their communication is there. Once again, I'm going to go with the data. Looks like we're going to have a ceasefire or some kind of a resolution. This is what I've been saying forever, and even raised this to Coinbase CEO said you'll be sad if you don't own at least 5% Bitcoin. Brian Armstrong said Bitcoin could reach 1 million by 2030. which my prediction is 1.4 million. He warns those without at least 5% of their net worth in Bitcoin will probably be sad. I would agree. Look, everyone's situation is different. I'm doing everything I can to stack more Bitcoin. Okay, I'm getting rid of. I'm actually getting rid of stuff around my house. I was in the firearms, ammunition business and stuff like that for years and years and years. I have quite a stockpile of ammunition stuff because it never goes down, right? It only goes up. So I recently got an offer for a significant chunk of that, which more than I'll ever use, right? I just like to stockpile it during times like this because every few years we have a shortage. Anyway, I got a huge offer. I'm excited about it. I'm putting all that together. The guy's a federal firearms dealer, and he owns a shooting range, and they need some. I bought it so much cheaper. I bought it like 5 years ago before the last big price jump. So I'm going to be done. Times. I'll just read this. The Thai Treasury, backed by the country's richest billionaire family, just announced plans to buy 10,000 Bitcoin. So that's $700,000 million worth of Bitcoin. Okay. So I'm having connection issues. You see, kind of getting a weird ghost-like thing. I will eventually get better lighting and a better backdrop than this crappy thing. I've got a great backdrop in my office. I'm just too lazy. We're on a country club. Great view for you, but I'm too lazy to drive there. I used to live 5 minutes from it. Now I'm like 35 minutes. So I almost never go. But I am going to start streaming sometime from my office, and I am going to fix my my studio here as well. But anyway, just kind of new to this streaming on YouTube and the lives here on X. So been doing, of course, the spaces for 4 years now. But anyway, not the greatest to set up, but I will work on it. Am working on it. But anyway, you've heard my rant before. Every state, every company, every country, every sovereign wealth fund, every company, pretty soon, almost every individual is going to own Bitcoin. And this free Bitcoin, this cheap Bitcoin is not going to last forever, right? Already, 6 weeks ago, right before the war, I literally sat there on this very stream and was grabbing for a narrative of what was going to change it. We were down in the low 60s and seemed to be sliding, and everyone is calling for 45,000, 35,000, $25,000 Bitcoin. Not some people, almost everybody. Now we may not be at a bottom, right? Anyway, okay. Hey, sorry, I didn't see the time here. I'm going to leave you with this, right? I'm going to leave you with this. See what else I had here real quick. Got to jump on the other screen. Bloomberg senior ETF analyst said the roles have reversed. Gold ETF, we're seeing outflows. Bitcoin seeing inflows. SpaceX is getting ready to do their raise $50 billion at $1.75 trillion IPO, the biggest in history. And Robinhood's doing a $1.5 billion buyback. So I'm going to leave. I think the most thing we ought to think about is Brian Armstrong. You're going to be sad if you don't have it. Happy hump day, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully the good news continues.